The sinister, the terrible never deceive. The state in which they leave us is always one of enlightenment, and only this condition of vicious insight allows us a full grasp of the world. All things considered, just as a frigid melancholy grants us full possession of ourselves, we may hide from horror only in the heart of horror. The Medusa by Timeless Legati. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Public Access, a horror game set in 2004 in the fictional small town of Deep Lake, New Mexico, with our players investigating the missing public access station, TV Odyssey, as well as other weirdness in the area. As a content warning, this game contains cosmic horror, graphic violence, ritual sacrifice, sexual desire, childhood trauma, and consumer culture. And our current active mysteries also add stalkers and cryptids, so viewer discretion is advised. Special thanks to Laios VT for the starting, the intro screen, and for music by Scott Buckley, released under Creative Commons 4.0, www.scottbuckley.com.au. All right, with that mouthful done, players, would you be so kind as to introduce yourself and who you'll be playing tonight?
Hi, everybody. I'm Ben Ravensdale. I'm going to be playing Declan Juniper. Yeah, that's it. Hi, welcome. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Rachel. I'm still on fires, which you knew because you're here on my channel. My character met the bright white light a few sessions ago, so now I have picked up Amelia. I can never remember her last name. Calvillo. Amelia Calvillo is who I'll be playing.
Hey, I'm Steph. Kato also touched the pure white signal not too long ago, so instead of her, I'm playing Cassandra March.
And I am your keeper, Aaron, and my pronouns are she, they, they. Yeah, all right. So, let us get a lovely recap if you would be so kind, Ben.
Amelia wanders into the house asking for a cup of tea and a chance to use the phone. She immediately calls home to parents elated and relieved to hear from her. Her dad immediately takes off to pick her up from the murder house. Amelia is grateful to help and offers a favor in return. It's a bit of a strange ask, and Declan is a little wary of getting a young adult involved, but does she want to play some serpents and sepulchres? Amelia is willing, though she might need some time to decompress after her week-long disappearance. She does give him her phone number. When Mr. Cavillo arrives, he's grateful to Declan but questions Amelia in rapid-fire Spanish. Her memories are vague and disjointed. She doesn't remember anything about the past week. She's been deep into her character's flow state. Her father doesn't quite understand. He just knows the devil game is somehow responsible for his daughter going missing. They drive off. Meanwhile, Cassie wants to start investigating the caves on the outskirts of town. Claw marks decorate the rock, while there are signs of recent rock climbing activity subtly scattered about. There are some very faint blood splatter patterns as well. Nothing overt, but it can be seen when the light hits it just right. Cassie begins carefully examining the land around the caves. She finds a sphere about the size of a bowling ball, slightly warm to the touch. Unfortunately, the act of touching it draws attention to her. At the Cavillo house, Amelia tries to convince her parents that she's safe. They believe her, mostly, but insist she get checked out by a priest, Father Mateo, who shows up a little bit later in his priestly apparel. He's an older Hispanic gentleman and inquires after her health. She's fine, but accidentally reveals her involvement in the game, which concerns him. He leads her to the living room, sitting her in a chair in the middle of the floor and reciting Latin passages at her. It's a rite of exorcism. Amelia is willing to go through with this for her parents' peace of mind, but it goes wildly awry when she begins convulsing and vomiting. Back to Declan, who is playing around with the materials left behind. Something goes a bit wrong, and he draws the attention of the Blackleaf Society. At least he finds a map on the back of Amelia's character sheet. Oddly, however, it looks drawn by a finger, not a pen or pencil, using chewing tobacco juice. Gross. His next step is to make a phone call, one of Lottie's friends who works in the city's forensic lab. Could she perhaps lift a DNA sample from a piece of paper? Sure, she could do that. He offers some bribes of baked goods to expedite the results. Out in the desert, Cassie carefully examines the cave mouth. The distant sound of a dirt bike throws her off. It's a man with mutton chop sideburns, dressed completely in denim, doing tricks. He catches sight of her and clearly begins trying to impress her, introducing himself as Glenn. He laughs a bit condescendingly when Cassie says she's here for the Deep Lake Devils and asks if she's going into the caves. Ha, fuck no. A shadow crosses his face. There's nothing in the sky which would cast a shadow. Back to the exorcism, Amelia is exhausted after several hours. She takes a long hot shower and wants to sleep, but something compels her to sneak out. An hour after her parents have gone to bed, she slips out her bedroom window and begins wandering in a random but aimless way. After having the character sheet analyzed, Declan goes scouting a bit. He wants to check out the silo and notices Amelia walking on the side of the road. He goes to intercept her and question her. Amelia says she doesn't think she'll be able to let this go, so could he give her a ride? Well, it's the best way to keep her safe. She has a brief flash of memory, a van, with a barbarian riding an armored roadrunner. The bird, not the cartoon character. Whoever drove it chewed tobacco, and she remembers a bit of game lore. The first pact is made between the Flame Keepers and Skystone Dwellers, activating places of power that will keep the Bone Wolves and Great Hungers at bay. She recites this, and when Declan questions her, she can't remember saying anything, and doesn't know anything about Bone Wolves or places of power. He says he'll spill the beans. He wants to run a campaign about a ghost bound into the basement of the silo, something intended for good but corrupted by a cult. He's clearly asking her for help solving the mystery, but framing it as a campaign idea. Amelia is more than happy to get chatty about the game, perhaps inadvertently giving him advice. Elsewhere in the desert, Glenn is only too happy to give Cassie a ride on his bike when she asks. But this isn't a date. This is Cassie trying to get him away from the monster. They get vaguely buzzed by the monster, but are unscathed. At least they know the lair of the kids? The Black Leaf Society, I think is what that's referring to. A currently under construction train station that will be called the Rail Runner when it finally opens. How do we know that? Don't worry about it. But all the time bullshit means they somehow will know about us. It sucks to be Glenn, though, who's ripped off his dirt bike by one of the devils. Nice knowing you, Glenn. Oh, and Cassie is now hunted by the Deep Lake Devils as well. Back in the truck, reality rewrites itself. Amelia remembers Declan, but he's not here, and she's parked in his truck. She calls out for him, and he answers through the radio, which freaks Amelia out, but he does his best to explain. Bastion dares the ghost stuck in the silo, bound there by some kind of magic runes by the Black Leaf Society. Amelia denies that, but as she does so, something else happens. Whisper takes over. Whisper being Amelia's Serpent Sepulchre's character. She's direct and candid, and agrees they both want to help save Amelia. But Declan can't get back. He's stuck there. Not that he tells Whisper that. He says that he can come back if they complete the ritual at the silo. He directs her to call Cassandra using his phone in the cup holder. As Cassie is soaked in blood in the desert, her phone rings. She pulls over to answer. It's an awkward Whisper/Amelia who tells her to get to the silo. She and Declan are able to communicate a bit over Whisper's head, but they agree to meet. Upon arriving, they use the tools in Declan's work truck to dismantle the late Glenn's dirt bike for improvised weapons. Declan successfully guides Amelia/Whisper to the silo without any attacks. We carefully coordinate opening the door, then spend some time blocking the doors off with furniture. Declan is able to advise through the TV and to see Bastion in his fullness. Declan says they're going to run his module, and Bastion agrees that's the proper route for success. Declan invites Bastion to play, and he agrees, picking up a 20-sided die. When it disappears, there's some conversation about death and presence. But now it's time to play. Declan does his best to run the module as written, and he invites the big man as well. Of course, he arrives, and he's happy to play. Players roll surprisingly well and manage to complete Bastion's final dungeon. At the very end, the big man channels divine intervention to sacrifice his character and defeat the final antagonist. Bastion gives Declan a high five in the chromatic desert, and in the mundane world, his skeleton crumbles to dust. But why isn't Declan coming back? It's not quite an argument, not quite a confrontation. Declan confesses and apologizes. Whisper seems ardent in maintaining her role as an adventurer, and agrees to leave when Declan says the Black Leaf Society are on their way. They decide to head straight to the next confrontation. Cassie tries to summon a ghost, and almost fails except for turning a key. She ends up doing capoeira with this ghost, and he helps her defeat the wizards. But Amelia gets trapped. Or would, except for the big man's intervention. With one of Declan's heavy tools, she goes for the evil wizard's fingers. Declan does what he can from the chromatic desert as well, scaring the rest of the wizards away forever by slicing the leader's throat with his Dr. Cerulean static scalpel. And I think that's where we ended.
Indeed. Thank you for reading, Ben, and thank you, Rachel, for your wonderful notes as always. All right, let's get into it, shall we? So, we resolved a mystery last week. So let's hand out some rewards, shall we? So, your choices for Greetings Travelers is A magic wand with a crystal handle, an artifact from the Black Leaf Circle. Add it to your corner of the house. I see a hand up already. The key to a decommissioned underground missile silo. Add it to your corner of the house. The other three options are mementos from the investigation. Ask the latchkey to tell you what it is and add it to your corner of the house. So I take it Rachel wants the wand.
Unless nobody else wants it. In which case I'll fight you for it.
Go for it.
I'm happy
All right.
with you taking it, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, I already have like candles and a grimoire and an athame and
Listen, the more items in your corner of the house, the better. Can always get that advantage. All right, so that leaves the key and mementos that will be defined by your fellow latchkeys.
So my thought is that Cassandra might want the key if for no other reason than to not sleep in her old house.
You want so
an abandoned
to be-
missile silo is a better option?
Better than the house that your family was murdered in when you were a baby.
Okay, fair.
It's a fair point. It is a fair point.
Questionable.
Not by much, but you know,
Yeah.
slightly better.
Declan, do you have any desire for the key? All right. Yeah, if you want to cast it, it's yours. Which means, Declan, you get a memento. Which of the two would you like to define it for you?
Let's have Amelia do it. if
Oh,
that's okay.
I think what you get, so it's not a weighted die. It just happens to roll really well.
All right. And in addition to these rewards, there is an additional reward for Greetings Travelers. All of you get a character sheet for a level 3 hero. Give the hero a name and a class and add it to your corner of the house.
I mean, I'm naming mine Whisper.
course.
Obviously.
Oh, I will say that because this mystery is resolved, that persona that exists inside Amelia has also faded with the magic of the Black Leaf Circle.
You might come back, we don't know.
I mean, if you wanna narrate that at a certain point, I will yes and it, of course.
If I have to
But
turn
it-
another key, I might. Instead of doing my childhood, it'll be Whisper's fictional childhood.
Oh, interesting. I kind of like that. I do kind of like that.
Okay.
But yes, I would love to hear what your characters' names are and what class they are.
Whisper, I think, was a thief, rogue type class?
Yeah,
Okay.
I believe that's correct. That is the end of Greetings, Traveler.
Well, Cassandra's a necromancer, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
And I think the name is it's just Cassowary.
Beautiful. We love a good pun name. Well, wordplay, I suppose, not pun. Same difference.
I think. I mean, Declan's not exactly the most creative when it comes to putting together a fully realized, fleshed out character. So he's probably gonna go with a ranger with the last name Juniper, because it's his last name and it kind of fits a ranger. And for some strange reason, alliteration really jumps out to him, so he's gonna name him Jordan. Not quite sure why that name sticks out, but it does. So.
Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Okay. Let's get into our regular dawn phase then. Oh, well, the rest of it, rather. Let's do dawn questions. So, did the latchkeys resolve mystery? Indeed, they did. for Declan, did you receive a signal from the other side?
I don't. That requires us watching a tape, right? I don't think
So
we did.
me and Steph both learned recently, you do not need an Odyssey tape to receive a signal from the other side. Basically, anything from an Odyssey tape that you narrate into a scene in at normal play counts, or vice versa.
Even if it's not a tape that we watched in this session.
Correct.
Oh, I don't.
Past tapes are fair game too, basically.
Just something
I
to keep
didn't
in
know
mind.
that, so I don't know that I did that. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
say no.
Okay.
I
yeah,
mean,
something
you
to
used
invent-
Officer Barker, the pop album EP, and we did do the
Oh.
Officer Barker teaches you a lesson tape.
True. True. I think
It's a
that's
loose
fair.
one, but
Oh,
You
okay.
know.
Yeah, sure.
So that'll count for you. Did you go out of your way to reconnect with Deep Lake?
I mean, unless you count driving out to the silo for, reconnaissance.
I mean, it is a feature in Deep Lake, so yes, they don't have to be big stretches.
Okay.
And then, did you share a good memory from your childhood?
Yes. My sister nerding out about sepulchers.
All right. Looks like you got an advance, so go ahead and do that as you will. Let's
Last
pop
one
over.
for Declan.
Potentially, yes. All right, Cassie. You resolved a mystery. Did you receive a signal from the other side?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Did you cut loose for once?
Yeah, she was a necromancer.
I think that counts. Were you vulnerable with someone?
I feel like I remember something like that happening, but I don't know 100%. So I'm gonna go with no.
Okay. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. You and Glenn had a brief interaction before I killed him, so
Yeah, I don't know if that was vulnerable though.
yeah, I don't think so. All right,
Is there-
and Amelia.
Real quick, is there a list of the moves that are available?
Yes, I will drop it in our public access chat for you.
Thank you. Sorry.
It should be
It's also on the
pinned.
reference moves
Is it
tab.
not
Is it pinned?
In the sheet?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, good. I did pin it. Hooray! All right. Anyways,
Also in the character keeper if you go to the reference tab.
Gotcha.
Oh, nice.
I think I'm
Good
gonna write a
old character
custom one.
keeper. Ooh, all right. Always spicy. I love to see a good custom move. All right. Anyways, Amelia, you resolved the mystery. Yes. Did you receive a signal from the other side?
Unless the exorcism counts, I'm going to say no.
I'm trying to think if there was anything like that in any of the tapes, and I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you share a good memory from your
Well,
childhood?
Does
okay.
getting taken over by Whisper count?
I'm debating.
Could kind of fit with Gorilla Makeover.
Yeah, a little bit. You know what? I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Okay.
All right. Did you share a good memory from your childhood?
I don't think I had any chances to talk about my past.
Yeah, you're kind of caught up with I Just Got Found.
Yes.
And did you deliver a chilling monologue about something that happened to you in the past? Which I don't think
I did
either
not.
of those. All right, cool. That is our XP done. I don't need to introduce any new mysteries, so let's move into our day phase proper, shall we?
Would you like to know what my custom move is?
I would love to hear. Yes, please.
I'm calling it President of the Babysitters Club. When you mark the pure white signal, you may choose another latch key. That latch key may unmark one of their keys of desolation.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I like it. That's great.
That
Very
feels
thematic.
about as Declan as you can get.
Yeah. Big damn hero move. I love it. That's great. Cool. Yeah. Thumbs up for me. All right. So you have, let's take stock of our mysteries real quick. So we have currently active Zagreus. You have answered the question for who Adafoy 85 is. It is Declan's brother, Dustin. And he has to be neutralized. There is no talking him down because of the complication on the roll for the answer question. And then you don't have a resolution yet because you need to play Zagreus more still. Then on Strange Wings, you have no clues available currently, but you do have the second question unlocked, which is, if the Deep Lake Devils are from elsewhere, how can you banish them from our world? And then you resolve the mystery by sending them back to whence they came and never to return. Cassie will probably have some feelings about that.
I think we were missing a clue for Zagreus because in the last session I did the genetic test on the or the DNA profiling on the chewing tobacco residue.
Yes, you are correct. I gave you a custom clue, which was that the head of the Blackleaf Circle was the attendant that was there.
Who I killed, but I think that should still at least give us a little bit of.
Yes, it is still a clue.
Yeah.
It is still a clue. Just knowing what the question is for Zagreus, it is a valid clue.
Okay.
So yeah, you do have 3 clues available for Zagreus, but no question to answer yet because spoiler alert, you need to play more of the secret levels.
We also found in the thing as we were leaving, there was another clue that we were supposed to get, and it was a notebook where someone had basically converted Zagreus levels to Serpent and Sepulchre's Serpent and module.
I do not remember this, but I'll
it was
take your word
it was
for it.
right as we were leaving the scene where we did the game with Bastion and we were heading into the thing. We were supposed to give a clue, and that was the one I gave.
Oh, that's nostalgia move. Yes, of course.
That's
okay.
what it was. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, nostalgia move clue. Yes. So yeah, you have 4 clues for Zagreus then. But no question to answer technically. Okay. Speaking of conditions and the nostalgic move, Declan, you are sitting with 2 conditions. One which has to be resolved by dancing with a ghost. And Cassandra is full up. But also conveniently has one where she has to dance with the ghost. So if I can soft pitch a 3-way ghost dance.
Does that have to be a dance with a ghost? I thought it had to be a dance with a.
Yeah, you have to dance with the other latch.
It's a latch key for the ghost. My bad. Mm-hmm. So a pitch for a nostalgic move is Declan and Cassandra dancing to appease the ghost.
I mean, is the ghost saying, "I want you two to dance"? Because
that is how you clear the condition. Yeah, 100%.
I just didn't know if it was like being made known, because Declan wouldn't just go to Cassandra and be like, "We should dance." So
yeah, you have 2 separate ghosts. The ghost Declan has is from the Night of the Bone Wolves.
Yeah.
One of the people who has passed away in the awfulness that is Deep Lake, and Cassandra's ghost is a capoeira specialist, apparently. The things I let slide in my games. So yeah, a nice little pitch here would be your nostalgic move. You both get. So does that count as the thing that's being cleared by the nostalgic move, or is that a separate trigger from the nostalgia move? It's your move, Steph, so that's why I'm asking.
It can only be cleared by doing the thing, which to me would imply that it can be outside of a nostalgia move also.
Okay. You just have to dance with another latchkey for the ghost.
Oh wait, no. It says it has to be It has to be a nostalgia move. So yeah, it counts as the condition.
Okay.
If I'm remembering, yeah, it says that on the move. I wrote this.
Here we go again. This condition can only be cleared by having a nostalgic move scene, in which the latchkey with condition and another latchkey dance with one another as the specter watches. Okay. So yes, if you both do the nostalgic move together and dance, you will both clear. Here we go again. Ben is doing an Aaron pose right now. All right, so besides the potential of a nostalgic dance move, what would everyone like to get up to today?
Well, besides the nostalgic dance move, I think that Cassandra's probably gonna look into Strange Wings a little bit more. I also have The Truth Is Out There still.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
yeah, and I'm thinking I'm gonna keep it simple, and we'll just say that this one is like uh, some sort of device that detects strange, like errant signals.
Okay.
I don't know for which one it'll be used yet. I'll just put that in my quarters for now.
Sounds good. All right. What about Amelia and Declan?
I think what Amelia will do is, as she's sort of like getting back into the groove of things, she's gonna head over to the arcade and just enjoy some mindless video game playing, including
see.
Zagreus.
Of course.
I mean, Declan's probably most worried about Amelia, so he's probably gonna like tag along with her.
Fine, I could use
But-
the spotter.
But if the ghost is bugging us to dance,
You can do
then-
that. You can do that first, and then go your separate ways.
Okay.
So I'm interested because here's the thing: Declan is in the Chromatic Desert, so I am very curious how the choreography for this goes.
Well, I mean, I think the answer to that is very obvious. We're not going to do like a ballroom dance. I think Declan is going to recommend the one song that he probably ever actually learned the dance to, which is the Macarena.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Because Declan didn't exactly go to dances. He didn't really date in high school, but the Macarena was everywhere. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love that actually. Hey Macarena.
probably easy enough to find in 2004, it playing somewhere, and once it's on,
I mean, you could get a CD and play it over the missile silo speaker.
yeah.
I mean, that is probably the place you'll be least embarrassed, right? No one's coming to that missile silo anymore.
Except Cassandra.
Yeah, sub Sandra.
Declan's in the Chromatic Desert. He doesn't have anybody there to be embarrassed towards. So
Sounds good.
Declan is probably gonna actually like. He's gonna go for it with the Macarena. Like he's probably just gonna straight up just. He doesn't know what he's watching. He doesn't give a shit. He's just gonna have fun.
I'm going to say there is a TV in the silo, so it will you're going for it will be visible to anyone who is in the silo.
All right, fine.
I mean, I think that it's probably a little infectious, and that while like Cassandra doesn't really want to at first, she eventually gets into it because there's not been a lot of chance to just have a silly goofy time lately. She figures, you know what, fuck it, we
This
can
might-
mock some Reynas.
Yeah, knock some arenas. And this honestly, this might be one of the last moments you have before things get bad. You can
Yeah.
kind of feel it in your bones that something's coming.
Yeah, the spirit of dance.
Oh, beautiful.
I think that like as she's putting her hands on the back of her head, she's like, and stops after a while. The capoeira ghost fades off into the distance. She looks at the TV, and says, "You know, we didn't always get super along, but I'm glad to have you here for whatever comes next.
Are you saying this to Amelia or to Declan?
It would be really funny if Amelia was there, but no, I don't think she is.
Okay.
Yeah. I presumed it was towards Declan, since Cassie and Declan, when I was portraying Cassie anyway, they had a fraught relationship.
Yeah. Quite frankly, I'm sorry you had to be here for all this. I'm sorry you had to go through everything. I would rather you hadn't been, but I guess I'd be lying if I said I'd be lying if I said I wasn't glad that somebody's here. So, you spent long enough kind of convincing yourself that you want to be alone, and I don't know.
We'll figure
Anyways.
this out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Things
Maybe
are starting to
then-
look up, right?
Well, as up as they can, I guess. Hopefully, once we figure out everything with the fucking TV station, maybe you can. I don't know. Maybe we'll get you back somehow.
Yeah.
I'm kind of.
Yeah, I think it'll work.
Kind of sick of losing people to this stupid TV station.
In a way, it's kind of comforting to me. Not losing other people, but I mean, I thought I was crazy, Not exactly reassuring when you remember something from being a kid and you swear it happened, but it was all weird shit, and then the only people you could find to corroborate are a bunch of fucking weirdos on the internet. So, doesn't exactly reassure you about your own state of mind. So, at least, as terrible as this has all been, at least I know I'm not crazy. That's something.
Yeah. It was kind of the same from when I was growing up with the marches. People didn't really get that. I don't know. The Barker thing, it wasn't just about the gore or the fact that my family was, part of it. My brother even did it. A lot of it had this lasting effect on me. Whenever I closed my eyes for the longest time until you all came along, I could see these things reaching for me at the edges of my vision, trying to grab me and make me one and the same. So, I guess in a way I'm glad too. I think out of everything, at least neither of us were crazy.
All right, well, I'm gonna go watch a Serpents and Pokers nerd play some video games in order to save the world. So that's where my life is now.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm gonna go bury a body of a guy that was mostly in denim. I
Why
don't
is
know
the
how
denim
well that...
part important?
It was a lot of denim. Like, the only part of him that wasn't covered in denim was the part of him that his head got torn off.
So
It was
you're saying
fucked
that
up.
you're saying that if you'd been completely covered in denim, he would have been safe. Is this like an Achilles heel situation where just because like the heel wasn't covered and therefore it like
I mean,
is denim the secret?
no, I just kind of hated it.
Oh, okay. So you're just fixating on it. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well. I mean, I don't know if this is going to come across as a shitty thing to say or a reassuring or comforting thing to say, but I think you and Kato were meant for each other, because ultimately you going off to bury a body in the desert is the most Kato thing I can think of. So,
Well, the most Kata thing I could think of is if she made the body. Oh, shit, she did. All right, yeah, all right, you got me there.
all right, well, you go cover up for one of your girlfriend's murders, and I will go join a teenager at the arcade.
All right.
Second verse, same as the first.
19.
Still a teenager. 19. Teen-ager. 19-ager. See
He's
He is
still a legal
technically-
adult. There's a huge
He-
difference between 19 and 14.
He is technically correct, which is the best kind of correct. All right, so that definitely counts as a nostalgic move. You can both clear. Here we go again. I think Declan going for it counts as like initiating it with the Macarena. So if Cassie wants to find a clue, feel free.
Sure. No, fuck it. I'm gonna make that a clue because I think that's really funny. The denim Achilles heel on Strange Wings.
Fuck it. Yeah.
The devils are repulsed by denim.
All right.
I was going to say denim was immune to their claws, but I guess that works too.
I had this flash to the finale when we were dealing with TV Odyssey, and you all fucking gear up in denim, and my soul died a little bit. It died a little bit inside. I've died a little inside because of that mental image.
You're so
Okay.
welcome.
Just for extra protection of the groinal area, I'd be wearing a pair of jeans with a pair of jorts. Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't want it.
And one of those hoodies that has the denim hood.
The other thing that's happening in chat right now is Drea's like going off about the jean puns now.
Yeah. Oh, or I just wear a pair of jeans on my head with my arms up through the legs.
You just unzip. Why am I yes-anding this? I hate this. I hate every part of this. All right. Anyways, let's leave the denim behind and let's go. Let's follow Amelia. Are you and Declan communicating, or Declan, are you like kind of incognito watching over her at the arcade?
I feel like Amelia would at the very least, because like it's 2004. We had basic text messaging.
We've never. I'll be
Bluetooth
real.
a thing?
We never touched on whether Declan could text or not.
We never did. And technically,
Well,
Declan doesn't have a phone on the other side, so unless he steals a phone on the other side, I don't know how that'll work.
So
I mean,
the way that would work.
TV.
Yeah, I was gonna say through a TV.
Was
You could-
Bluetooth a thing then? I think it was.
I truly don't know.
All right,
yeah.
so
It was.
I think what's going to happen then is Amelia will borrow her dad's car to drive into town. And then on the way there, she's just gonna turn the radio to static
Okay.
and tell Declan where she's going.
Oh wait, hold on a second. The guy who ran, well, the guy who owned the place, or the main manager, I'm
dead.
not sure which, was dead. The guy, one of the assistant managers, is the guy that I just killed. Part of the Black Leaf Society.
Might be hard to get into
just be
Galaxia right now.
careful because I don't know if anybody else that works there was also part of the whole thing or aware of it. So
I am happy to answer this question because as you arrive to the arcade, you see a sign that says closed new management. So if you would like to get into the Galaxy Arcade, you will need to break in.
I just gotta say, chat, like these are some on point genes.
They are out of control right now. It's out of fucking control.
I'm paying more attention to that than I am the game.
It is
Beelzebub. Mephistopheles Levi's.
This is my hell. Look at my face, everyone. This is what hell looks like. The dead eyes, they're dead. The light in them has gone out because of Levi jokes. Fuck me. Anyways, Amelia, how would you like to begin to Galaxy Arcade?
So,
If you want to. I presume you do.
So Amelia's gonna go back to her car and communicate with Declan using the radio. Say, just fuck, it's closed.
Declan's gonna be Declan. Your parents let you talk like that?
No, they're not around, obviously.
Sorry, habit. Let me see what I can do on this side. Hold on.
Also, Declan, as a reminder, you do know about the tunnels beneath Deep Lake that do run under the arcade.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know that I want to lead Amelia.
I'm just giving you options. I'm helpful.
Yeah. I don't think I want to do that. I'm gonna poke around on this side, see if there's anything I can find out about, like, how she might be able to get in, or if there's anybody around. It was really quick of them to be like, "Hey, murder investigation under new management." Like that was like no time flat.
So you think that this might have something because Declan was going to be a big suspect? You think that perhaps reality rewriting might have something to do with this?
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay. Okay. So then, yeah, I mean, let's poke around.
I have a question. You had the keys that he dropped. Does Declan still have those in his vehicle, or are they on his person?
So they're in the clues. Probably be in the vehicle. He probably wouldn't carry them like in his pocket the entire time.
Okay.
Honestly. So yeah, that's a good point. I forgot we got this as part of the clues. So
yes, you do have a set of keys to Galaxy Arcade, technically.
I'll still poke around to make sure there's nobody around before I tell Amelia that they're there.
Yeah, so you go inside. Declan, you're not barred by this building. You're not in that reality anymore. So the inside looks very much the same. There's still power. You see there is the back room is shut again, but if you go look, the body has been taken. There is still a stain on the ground because, fun fact, everyone, cops don't clean up after dead bodies. You have to hire cleaners.
Yes.
Didn't they make like a whole movie about that?
Did they? That's cool. I would love to watch that.
All right. I mean, if it's pretty clear, then I'll let Amelia know that the keys are in the glove box. And
all right. So we will fast forward a little bit. Amelia, you have keys to the place. You get inside. There is Galaxy Arcade. There is Zagreus.
All right. I'm sorry. I was looking up the title of Sunshine Cleaning, so I missed. How did Declan get me in the building?
So as one of the clues that the latch keys have, there is a set of keys to Galaxy Arcade.
Thank you.
Yes. So you have made it inside. Zagreus is there for you to play. Declan, you're just kind of keeping an eye on her, I presume.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I will keep that in mind depending on how Amelia rolls. Amelia, are you playing Zagreus?
Yes. Because one of the levels that we've established in the clues is a Serpents and Sepulchre inspired level.
Actually, it's the
Indeed.
other way around. Someone took the clue was that someone took the Serpent Sepulchre's levels and converted them into a Zagreus, or they took the Zagreus levels, converted them to a Serpent Sepulchre's module.
Oh, either way, it will be something
Yeah.
she's familiar with, so yes, she's going to play that one.
All right. So, when you play a level, to remind you everyone what the move is, press start. When you play a game of Zagreus and attempt to beat a secret level, roll with composure or reason, your choice.
All right. My reason is better. Which move do I roll? I'm sorry.
This is just roll it as the day move. That's fine. It's
Okay.
technically a custom move that you are doing. I will not ask you anything about what you're afraid is going to happen because that's. So that is a miss. On a miss, you do not mark a box. You don't beat the level. You've used up all your lives, and you're going to take the condition obsessed with death. If you get obsessed with death a second time, you automatically turn a key. Would you like to turn a key now? Or would you take obsessed with death? You can still play the game, but you will have obsessed with death as a condition.
I've been playing this character as being fairly goth, so I feel like obsessed with death is fine. It is in keeping with this character. She is going to stay obsessed with this game, however. And like, oh no, bitch, I can't die. Where's more quarters? I need more quarters.
Declan, on your side of the world, the machine does something weird when she loses this level. It has, because it's all kind of very pixelated for you, the pixels sort of darken out as if Zagreus's influence is exerting itself in the area around Amelia. And you can see it kind of seeping into however she looks to you on this side. If you give me the meddling move, I might give you a clue.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. This will be with sensitivity.
Okay, it's the one I'm good at, so.
Would you like to mark any of your items? You don't have to. There's not a whole lot of stakes on the meddling move, but they can lead to stakes.
I think I'm okay. I'm good. Because I'm gonna roll great. Nope.
It begins.
That's okay. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get the low roll out of the way on
Again.
this one. I don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about it later. So.
Right. All right. I'm going to say here's what happens as a consequence of this. I realize you have no keys to turn, but you feel yourself being drawn into the game, Declan. What I will allow you to do for this, you can make, while inside the machine while Amelia plays, I will allow you to make corresponding day moves that will grant her advantage or disadvantage depending on how well you do.
Yeah, what the hell? Why not? Let's do it.
All right. We'll come back to that narration in just a moment. Cassie.
Zagreus is suddenly a 2-player game.
Cassie, so you are headed to go take care of a body. You go back to, I think you took public transit. So, interesting question. Declan's car is available. Amelia's took her father's vehicle. So there is a vehicle available to Cassie this time.
Oh, I thought that they took Declan's vehicle since the keys to the thing were in Declan's vehicle.
I was narratively saying, like pretty much every clue, you all have access to them.
Okay.
So, Declan's vehicle does not need to be used technically. It is just something you narratively have access to, in my head anyway. If that is not the case, feel free to correct me. Otherwise, there is a vehicle available for Cassie to use.
I mean, if Declan wouldn't mind it, then yeah, but otherwise she's not gonna just. All right, cool. Then yeah. Yeah, we'll use that and drive out.
All right, so you arrive in oh god, I'm gonna butcher it again. Los Ojos de los Muertos.
Be sure to fill up the tank before giving it back, though.
Just in case Declan comes back, right?
Yeah, giving it back to who?
I don't know.
Hey, she's much more considerate than Kato. Gotta give her that at least. All right, so yeah, you arrive. The scene is much the same. It doesn't look like anyone has noticed. You walk out to where you were previously. It doesn't look like anyone has noticed. I won't go into the descriptions of what a decaying body looks like, but it has begun to decay. There are the various. It has been gnawed on a bit. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. No scavenging animals have touched this body.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it doesn't look like the devils are much interested in it anymore either.
I wonder why. Yeah, Cassie will put Kato's old motorcycle helmet back on, mostly just to stop the smell, and go over and start just... I don't think she actually brought anything to, like, dig with. She's not gonna do that. She's gonna, like... I think she probably brought, like, a tarp or something.
What'd you say, Rachel?
Karen, when you pile rocks.
Oh, I thought you said Aaron, and I was like, what's
too.
happening?
No, sorry, I said Karen.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah, I sort of. I mean, I was thinking she probably grabbed like a tarp and is wrapping the body in it and is gonna just take it and dump it into the big cave. It's already a hole.
All right. I'm not going to make you. I think what I'm not going to give you roll a day move could dispose of a body. It feels like the stakes are pretty low on that. I will let you make the meddling move as you toss it into the cave.
All right. With vitality?
Yeah, that seems fair.
Cool. Yeah. Vitality. Woo!
Oh, goddamn. All right. So I feel like that I'm forcing you to get lore drops every time because we're gonna run out of those. I think what I'll do, because Odyssey tapes are kind of useless to you guys at this point, I'll give you the option of lore dump or additional clue.
I mean, you gotta give me the lore.
Okay, fair
Run
enough.
out. I'll get those additional clues when you run out.
I mean, I don't have that much lore left. I'm going to be real. A lot of it's already been divulged to the various awesome roles that have happened throughout the campaign. So
Give it to
I think it's all right. So I'm gonna I think I can do this pretty easily. So will you have to drag him a little bit? Oh, Drea just gave you all benevolence. Fun fact.
Thank you, Drea.
You drag the body into the cave. You have to go a little bit further to get to like the steep parts, and you toss it down, and it falls long enough that you don't hear it hit. But while you're doing this, you notice under like a kind of smaller rock fall, 2 pieces of paper, and you pull them out. One of them is a very obviously hand-drawn map of mining nodes for this, you presume, this cave system that you're in currently. The second thing is, it looks like a page from a very old diary. It is made of vellum, not paper. That's how old it looks to you. Now, I don't know if Cassie knows what vellum is, but that's what it is made of.
I mean, I don't, but it sounds like something that maybe she would, because it's like old and gothic sounding.
So vellum is sheepskin? Is that?
Oh yeah,
Rachel's?
it's skin. It's skin. She would know.
Yeah.
She's goth. She knows all about dried skin and dead
Yeah,
shit.
I had to pull on my old lore. I was like, I think it's sheepskin that they use as paper, but I cannot remember truly. So yes, it is a excerpt from a diary. It says Saturday, May 25th, a day before my real life birthday. Anno Domini 1540. A traveler has entered camp. His clothes are pale blue, frilled and tight-fitting. He speaks in quick and harsh English about needing to get back to the school dance. Father Gonzalo attends to his burns, but I fear he may not live. Here's your lore dump.
Hell yeah.
Cassie, you have this map now. Would you like to risk going into the cave system further?
No.
Everyone is spoiling my fun tonight.
No. No, we're gonna go to the gas station and fill the gas up like I said I would, and then we'll go and do something else. Fuck this cave.
All right, so we will continue with you for a little bit here because I am excited we have another location unlocked. You pull into Last Chance Gas. It looks almost abandoned. There are some garage bays with tools sitting around, so it looks like there's something here. Let's paint the scene. What suggests that the last chance nature of this place is no mere marketing ploy, and that there is a very real danger in venturing unprepared into the vast empty space between roadside outposts?
There is a there's a whiteboard or a chalkboard behind the cash register that has like the license plate numbers of cars that have passed through, and a betting pool as to whether or not they're going to make it to the next location.
Damn.
All right, I'm sorry. I was looking for like a written version of the question. Could you repeat it one more time for me? So I
I
can
just put it into the
process
keeper.
It is in the keeper currently, but I will read it again. What suggests that the last chance nature of this place is no mere marketing ploy, and that there is still a very real danger in venturing unprepared into the vast empty space between roadside outposts?
There is a bulletin board, which is half advertising for like survival gear or guides or whatnot, Outback tutorials, and the other half is missing persons flyers.
Oh. Okay. A lot of missing people in Dagoya County.
Almost everything like is discounted or on sale except for spare tires.
I like how subtly grim that is. All right, Cassie. So yeah, you pull up to get some gas. You see in one of these garage bays, there is a woman working on looks like an older station wagon. But other than that, you're alone. What would you like to do?
She'll walk up to her, presuming it's probably like one of the only people who's working here, and be like, "Hey, you running the pumps?"
She'll slide out and be like, "Oh, yeah." She'll kind of look you over and be like, "You all right? You look dusted up." Fair enough. She gets up and walks over to like the actual like storefront of the gas station, unlocks the door and opens it. Goes inside. How much you want on that?
Let's do 10 on 1.
Cool. She brings you up. What brings you out here? Tour bus hasn't dropped anyone off, and you don't look like the tourist type. You look local.
Oh yeah, no, I live in Deep Lake. I'm just checking out the someone important to me had a something of an, I guess, obsession with the Deep Lake Devils, and so I'm just looking into it for them, keep their memory alive, I guess.
Sure. She kind of like gives you a once over and is like, "Do you believe they're real then?"
I think she kind of squints and considers for a moment and is like, this is a gas station attendee in the middle of nowhere. They probably don't even live in like the closest town to here. They probably live in the closest town to here, which would not be Deep Lake. So she's like, fuck it. Yeah. Yeah. Hard not to.
Yeah, you see lots of weird stuff working out here alone, I suppose.
You too, then?
I don't know that I'm a believer per se, but I'm not a skeptic either, if you follow me.
You know a guy named Glenn?
The dirt bike kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, he fills up here usually when he's doing his dumb Evil Knievel bullshit out there. Why do you ask?
I met him the other day. You say anything about the Devils?
No, he mostly just wants to talk about what cool stunt he's doing, and I'll be honest, many times he's been out here, I just don't have time for it anymore.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Also,
Yeah,
his fashion sense leaves something to be desired.
God, doesn't it though? Like how much does one person need? You know, like I get that I'm a big fan of black and like lace, but it's not all black lace. There's some maroon in here too. I know how to spice it up. Shit, dude, all blue denim all the time. Sorry, I've got feelings about that.
No, it's all right. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I wear mechanics clothes everywhere. That feels like it was his uniform, right?
Yeah, like, man, crazy. Uh, yeah, no, so you said you see a bunch of weird shit out here pretty often then, huh?
She's deciding something. Give me medley move with, we'll say, presence.
All right. Is this at disadvantage because I'm hunted by the Deep Lake Devils?
I don't think so. I don't think it applies right now.
Excellent. Six.
It looks like she's about to say something, and then she's like, just you see things sometimes, no big deal. But if you're all good, I gotta get back to work.
Oh yeah, for sure. Here's I don't know, 5. You can keep that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, someone's got to keep this place up and running, right?
You're not lying. Not much between here and anything else, right?
Well, have a good one. Try not to get eaten by a devil or something.
I think the oil like stains aren't palatable to them. She laughs and then
You'd be surprised.
gives you a weird look about that, and then goes back to her work. And we're gonna cut back now to Amelia and Declan. So Amelia, you go to restart the level. Your avatar has changed. It looks like an 8-bit version of Well, oh, you've seen Declan, yeah. It looks like an 8-bit version of Declan. It waves to you.
Is that you, Declan? Can you hear me?
Is the audio on this thing sophisticated enough that I can say yes?
No, it will translate your voice, but it will be the shitty old like 8-bit like audio.
The old MIDI stuff.
Yes, absolutely 100%. You do not need to do that voice, but I will not put that on you. But that is what you will sound like coming through Zagreus.
I mean, Ben's a good role player. Don't underestimate him.
I'm not underestimating. I'm giving him a pass. I'm saying you don't have to do this. But if you want to, feel free. I would adore it. Maybe I'll even give you advantage on your roll.
Ben, quickly
I need to
Googling voice mods.
I don't want to find something that converts my voice. I want to hear an example.
Rise from the grave and rescue my daughter. Altered Beast.
Toasty.
I guess it was pretty advanced for like Mortal Kombat days, yeah. Considering.
Yeah, like
That's pretty understandable what he was saying there, even.
Yeah.
all your base belong to us.
You have no chance to survive. Make your time. Now we're just memeing.
If you hold
I mean,
Star
have
Wars
you
selected
met
Declan, you
us?
can change their costume. All right, well, I guess let's do this.
I'll also say when you talk, Declan, even though they didn't exist previously in the game, there is a text bubble that accompanies your speech.
Okay, I'm okay with this.
Alright, I gotta do something. I gotta do something for the audience.
Oh no.
Covered California could lower the cost of your
No,
health
stop
insurance,
that.
and you
It's
might
covered
even qualify for
California. I'm
$10
talking
or less
over
month.
it. Go away. I'm playing the hamster dance.
Oh no. Oh dear.
Okay. That's as much as I can play without getting copy struck.
Yes. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. You're going to repeat the level, so I need the press start move again from Amelia. Composure or reason as per previous. Declan, before you
Yes.
roll though, Amelia, Declan, I need the day move from you. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
Well, I saw the game like kind of like it's spreading out, like kind of subsuming the things around it. I'm afraid it's gonna do that to Amelia.
Okay. That's fair. All right, go ahead and roll. Let me see what your conditions are real quick. You just have summoning sickness. I won't do disadvantage. I'll be nice. You do. You do. Yeah, you haven't tapped to attack yet. I think their next. Oh, Steph, I wish you shouldn't have said that because now you're giving me an idea. The next day move you make will be at disadvantage because you'll have tapped yourself. However, I will point out, just a reminder, you do have benevolence via Drea available, as well as the items in your corner of the house.
I
The
do.
soul still burns.
Anybody mind if I use the benevolence?
Go for it.
All right, roll day move with sensitivity with advantage.
Well, it's normal, right? Because I had. Oh wait, no, I had disadvantage.
I'm not going to give you disadvantage on this one.
That's right.
You will have disadvantage on the second.
In that case, I'll save the benevolence.
Okay. Sounds good. Go ahead and roll day move with sensitivity. God damn! All right. All right. So, Declan, tell me what you're doing that will be granting Amelia advantage on her press start roll.
Should we do the press start prompt first for the next level so that everyone knows what's
Oh yes,
in the area?
I completely forgot. Thank you, Steph. You are a treasure. All right, so we are on the garden, I believe. Yes. All right, so green hedgerows and carnivorous plants, half-birthed shambling monsters, bright red pomegranate collectibles. This level requires you to find a variety of hidden items and assemble a key to the palace. Let's paint the screen. Something in this level reminds you of Deep Lake. What is it?
This is sorry. Which one? The garden? Okay, yeah.
The garden, yes.
I think with Amelia, So you, in these old 8-bit video games, you had the background that would scroll and repeat. I think there's this big looming church on the cliffs that reminds her of her terrible experience getting exorcised just a few hours ago. And so, like, it's a looped animation, so, like, every 90, 120 seconds or so, church goes by again. She's like,
The hedgerows form like there's a hedgerow maze basically, and anybody who has gone to school here will recognize, if they were to see it from above or even kind of walk it for a minute, will recognize the layout as being that of the high school.
Think that there is a large lake in the center of the level that has a number of like hands that come out of the lake every so often.
I'm muted. I'm very muted. Declan, what are you doing in this level that's going to grant Amelia advantage on her press start move?
Declan's going to disappear off the screen for half a second, and go to his, because he drove his truck in the Chromatic Desert out here, because wait, did we determine there is a Chromatic Desert truck or not? I forget.
We didn't.
Okay, that's fine. In that case,
yeah.
We'll call it Hammer Space. Declan will, the little sprite of Declan will like pull out a bag and start, like, he'll disappear half into it and start rummaging around, and then he'll pull out a large, one of those large like chainsaws on the end of a pole that you use for like cutting down branches off of a tree.
Mhm.
He's going to use that to basically just cut a straight like path through the hedge maze, so you can kind of just bypass the whole thing.
All right, Amelia, roll press start, either composure or reason with advantage.
oh, so that's the day move.
Yes, and then either composure or reason as you choose.
Alright, with advantage, I'm going with reason. Tipa!
Nice.
I don't know. I don't think there is a massive success thing for press start. I think it's just you get the thing. All right, on a 10 plus, you find a clue. You complete the level, and you get the prize. So I'm going to give you the clue, and then I'm going to tell you what your prize is. The clue you're going to get. I just realized I can narrate these clues into the game because Declan's in the game currently.
What have we been rolling this with?
I've been
What?
using day move.
Yeah.
No, like stat wise.
Reason
Reason.
for me.
Okay. I think it's. Let's see. It's composure or reason minus the number of boxes marked.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
So that would just make it a normal success, I think.
I'll take it.
Yes,
A success
yes.
is a success.
Yeah, which is fine. You still get a clue. So Declan, as well, you're helping Amelia. You're going to find we need to make sure I haven't given this clue already. It's been a hot minute since we've touched Zagreus. Okay, cool. You find a journal on the ground. The name written in it is Rachel Urieta. If you open it in Zagreus verse, which just kind of shows you as flipping pages, she writes about unstoppable forces of entropy in the universe. As for your prize, Amelia, for completing the garden, you get an item lost in your childhood miraculously will turn up the next day. Describe how it's more disturbing than you remember, and then add it to your corner of the house.
Alright. I think she finds what's equivalent to this universe. Did you ever read those books, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark? And the art was grotesque.
Yes, wonderfully grotesque.
And so I think, like, she picks this up as an adult and flips through it and, like, they let me read this when I was 10?
Wonderful. Perfect. All right, you can add it to your corner of the house now. It won't show up technically till the next day. All right, so you proceed to the final level of the final secret level of Zagreus, the palace. Pillared chambers, masked courtiers, a shadowy king upon a blood-red throne. This level requires you to solve a complex rhythm game, all while avoiding the knives of the court. Yes, Declan, you get to dance again. All right. Whew, sorry. Let's paint the screen. Something about this level makes you think the game is aware of you. What is it?
The bad guy. What? Not King in Yellow. You just told me what his name was.
The Crimson King.
Crimson King. Oh, right, because King Crimson. Sure.
Or sorry, his name's the Occluded King. My bad.
The Occluded King.
Yes. He's on a blood red
there's-
throne.
There's still some digital eyes that, like, if you've ever been to the Haunted Mansion ride at Disneyland, there are these sculptures that are designed where, like, their eyes follow you. And somehow in this arcade cabinet, these little digital pixelated eyes, when she's like going this or like this, you know how you get really into playing an arcade game, the eyes will track her.
Okay.
I think that there is a little pixel art python, and it has the words level 3 rogue above it.
It's very good. I like that a lot.
I'm going to go with something super basic and simple here because my brain isn't failing me. All of the courtiers are going to turn when I walk into the room, and they're going to say, "Hello, Declan." Little speech bubbles.
Nice. I like it. It's basic, but hey, it works.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna do second first, same as the first. You are gonna have disadvantage this time, Declan, but presumably you're gonna use the Benny.
Sensitivity.
So you can
again?
roll. Yes, sensitivity again. You will roll normally. I will ask: are you afraid the same thing is going to happen this time, or is your fear different now that you are in the palace of the Occluded King?
No, I'm. What I'm afraid will happen now that I'm in the palace is that if this fails, the Occluded King will be able to use Declan's presence in the game as sort of like a pathway to get back to the Chromatic Desert, which is one step closer to the real world.
Okay. I like it a lot. I like that quite a bit, considering what I know is going to happen when we resolve these mysteries. Wonderful.
I'm trying to decide: are we gonna get into a night phase today?
Yes, we are.
Okay, well then I'm not gonna use my thing. I'm just gonna roll it.
Okay. Roll normally.
Mild
right.
success. I'll take it.
I will say the condition here I think is probably going to be pretty obvious. You're marked by the Occluded King.
Okay.
All right, but you will still grant advantage to Amelia again. Amelia, go ahead and roll. So you will have -3 on top. So whatever, you might just want to roll 2d6 minus. What's your reasons? +1
My
or
reason is
+2?
+2.
So roll 2d6 -1, or sorry, roll 3d6 -1. And keep the best two.
Oh.
So that's a
best
10.
2 is 11.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
minus one.
-1 is 10. But I'll
Okay,
take it.
so- all right, so you will get another clue. I think this feels like an easy one. You get excited as you beat this final level and knock the cabinet back a little bit, and a piece of paper slides out from under it. It is a flyer for someone named Jordan Juniper, missing. The details are scribbled out, but there is a skull drawn over the face.
Is this someone that Amelia would recognize from her Serpents and Sepulchre time?
No.
Okay.
You would recognize it as the name of Declan's character, though, because that's the name on my character sheet that I got from the reward for the last one.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You would, in fact. All right. As for your prize, here is your prize. The cabinet shows a prophecy of a fellow latchkey's demise. In a future scene, when another latchkey is getting ready to take an action that will require a die roll, you can warn them that Zagreus predicted their death if they take this action. If they go through with the action anyway, you both mark XP. On the die roll, the missed result is replaced with "you are killed." The keeper will describe how. That is your prize.
Okay. How should I mark that down on my sheet?
I will go ahead and screenshot it for you so you have it in chat.
Thank you.
But yeah, you can do that for any latchkey. I realize that Declan is the one literally closest to that scenario, but you can technically use it for Cassie. It is anyone. There you go.
And we have the final level unlocked.
You do. And I think just before we go to break, we'll describe what happens when you do that. So, you go to play what you thought the palace is the final level, but there is another press start moment. You press start. As you go to select the final level, the cabinet suddenly shuts off. Declan, you're spewed out of it immediately. After a moment of silence, the game comes back to life with the thrumming pulse of malevolent circuitry. The screen explodes into multi-chromatic glitching strobe accompanied by shrill 8-bit tones. The Zagreus cabinet screams before shutting off for good. You have unlocked the question now. Your final question for the Zagreus mystery. What is the awful truth of the Zagreus disappearances? This is complexity 6. Answering it will give you the opportunity to resolve the mystery by posting your findings online. It's that easy.
Declan gets spit out. Is he back in the real world or just cut off?
He is still very much in the Chromatic Desert.
Okay.
I am sorry.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Mm-hmm. And I think with that is where we'll go on our break. We will be back in about 10 minutes, everyone. And then we will begin our Nate phase and probably maybe answer a question. I don't know. We'll see if they want to dig more into Zagreus or what have you. But yes, we'll be back in 10 minutes, everyone. right, and we are back, and we are in dusk phase. So, would you like to answer any questions?
I think we can do Zagreus.
Okay. So, what is the awful truth of Zagreus's of the Zagreus disappearances?
So, I have an idea here. I think that, especially because of how it's been differently perceived from within the Chromatic Desert, Zagreus is effectively, all of these disappearances are it converting people into digital signals effectively. The device that detects errant signals is, part of that. Like, we're able to see how many are emanating off of the machine itself. The fact that I also think it has to do with the Black Leaf Circle, because they wanted all of these people digitized and inside of Zagreus to help fuel their magic as part of that bigger battery. And maybe even they were trying to do something with the cabinet and the occluded king. I think that FG, and if you let me, I would like to even perhaps confirm that via the ghost that is visiting Cassandra.
Sure.
He shows up in a cowl and robe with a symbol of the occluded king, and so Cassie's able to figure out and this isn't a capital C clue, but a lowercase one.
Yes.
This guy is the occluded king, is this deific figure, and FG was working with the Black Leaf Circle, basically taking two cults and turning them into one, to the occluded king, trying to get all of that energy into Zagreus from all of these people that are going missing, all of the Black Leaf Circle things, all of the people with all of the names of D. Hoskins and Rachel Urieta talking about the unstable forces in the universe. These were all found in or around the Zagreus machine itself, showcasing not everything was able to be taken with it. The same with the piece of paper that had Jordan's name in it. That wasn't even necessarily related to Zagreus, but because Jordan was lost in Deep Lake, the signal found its way to Zagreus regardless. And as far as the overdeveloped alien chicken hatching from the egg, that's referential to the occluded king hatching from the machine.
I'm into it.
I had a brain blast moment. I was like, oh, this all makes so much sense to me.
So I'd sort of build on that and include that Zagreus's level design and game design is meant to draw you in, to get you obsessing about it.
All right, I like it. Steph, that was mostly your theory, so I think you should roll at a +1.
Do you have any other suggestions for it, Ben? All right. Let's do it, then. Number of clues found, 7. Complexity, 6. Hey!
Well, all right. You are 100% correct. That is the case. You have figured out the mysterious, the truth behind the disappearances related to Zagreus. And now all you need to do to resolve the mystery is post them online. Easiest mystery to resolve in the game, I think, to after you go through all the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Just make a post. So we will call this. I think we will call this. I presume you do it the second you are confirmed that you're correct. You post online. We can go ahead.
So.
Okay, we can go ahead and call. I'm not going to make you roll the post online. You can go ahead and call Zagreus resolved.
Trolls.
And roll for trolls. The only reason I could see doing that is because Adafoy 85 is still active, but I'm not gonna do that. We'll just make him maybe part of the TV Odyssey mystery. Wink.
Got so excited I hit my microphone.
All right, so let us go now into our night phase. I don't think anyone has any moves that resolve. I don't think anyone did custom moves that do that. So, and neither Cassie or Amelia have any currently. So yeah, let's hop into our night phase proper. You only have one mystery to tackle. You do have some conditions potentially if you want to do nostalgic moves, but otherwise the only thing active is on Strange Wings now.
On Strange Wings, I'm gonna defer to Cassie on that one, because you've been spearheading this.
I mean, I wouldn't mind another nostalgia scene, just because I've still got 2 conditions here.
Yeah, I've got 2 as well.
As Amelia has 1 and Declan has 2. We have previously allowed a trio nostalgic move. I would allow that again. If you want to do it that way, or if you want to just pair off and do that, that is also fine. I leave that in your hands. Yeah. Besides nostalgic move, how would you like to tackle on Strange Wings tonight?
There was mention of that museum, right? So I think that
I did forget to mention that there was like a community board at the gas station that did include the weird museum as part of it. Though I think Cassie and Amelia would probably be familiar with it because you're both Deep Lake residents.
Yeah. So I mean, I think she'll go there to see what the professionals have found about the devils.
Okay. Declan and Amelia, how about you two? Are you going to just tag along, let Cassandra lead, or are you going to pursue your own avenues of investigation?
I mean, if it's the night phase and we're dealing with the devils thing, I think it's best we stick together, personally. So
seems smart.
Same.
You do know they are more active at night, and they are very dangerous. And one of them is Kato.
Yeah.
Amelia doesn't know that, but she's going
No.
to be like, something weird happened when I got exorcised. Let's go confront these devils and see what happens.
Okay.
For the nostalgia move, before we go, Declan is going to emphasize that it's a good idea for everyone to have something to eat before we go wander off and fight monsters. And I've got a little something planned. So just you guys get some food. I'll be back. Declan is going to get some supplies. And we've established before that he has these, even though they're not part of his corner of the house. They're just something that he has. He is going to go. He's going to get. I don't know what. He is going to find something that he can make into sort of a makeshift like afro. And he's going to get his painting supplies. And when everybody comes back to the living room, he is going to do an ad-libbed Bob Ross joy of painting on the TV from the Chromatic Desert. Because that is one of my takes you back things that Declan really enjoys. So
Okay. So yeah, you, Amelia and Cassie, you have whatever food is available while you wait for
Love
Declan
this.
to do whatever this mysterious thing is. And then I'm going to narrate this a little bit and then I'm going to let you take over. You're all sitting in the living room having your little whatever you're eating. And the TV clicks on and there's Declan dressed as Bob Ross. Please take it away.
So Declan's he's gonna kind of turn towards the camera and he's gonna do the little thing that Bob Ross does where he just kind of waves with his pinky and his like ring finger, and he's gonna say, "Hey there, friends. So today we're gonna do a little landscape scene. Now this one's gonna be a bit different from the kind you normally see. This one is gonna be of a New Mexico desert landscape, but done in a static and sepia color scheme. And so we're going to start off. I've already got my canvas here, and it's been primed with a little bit of titanium white. And we've got, of course, our palette of colors here, but we're not going to use most of these. We're just going to use the brown, the white, a little bit of black, and yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. And he's gonna paint sort of a, probably like mountain scene or something like that. And towards the end of it, he is going to he's gonna say, now today we're gonna do something a little bit different. This is normally we just do landscapes here on the channel, but today we're gonna branch out a little bit, and we're gonna do a little town here. And he's gonna kind of like tap away, doing like little buildings and stuff like that. He's gonna say, and over here we're gonna put a little lake and some little trees, and we're gonna paint a nice, happy little deep lake. We're gonna manifest what we want this place to be when we're all done here.
I'm going to do a kind of impromptu paint the screen here, I think. What happy little things are Amelia and Cassandra going to narrate for Declan to add to this canvas he's painting?
There is a campfire in the camp area, and there's a couple figures, and there's one person who's really animated, like he's telling a story, and the 4 or 5 people around the fire are completely enraptured.
Two of those people are holding hands with one another.
Wonderful. I love this.
Yeah, and so he's gonna once he kind of wraps everything up, he's gonna be like, all right, well, I just want to say thank you all very much for joining us here at the Joy of Painting. I forget what it says as a sign off. I think it's something like goodbye and God bless or something like that. And he's gonna do the little 2-finger wave with the painting hand, and then that'll be it.
All right, TV clicks off.
And I will take that painting on the Chromatic Desert side of things, and I'm going to hang it above the couch in the castle house.
I will straight up allow you to add that to your corner of the house. That is very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that will count as a 3-way nostalgia move as well. You all clear a condition. I think, Steph, you got to define the clue last time, so I'll give this to Rachel then, if that's okay, to define the clue from the nostalgia move.
So we can all clear a condition?
Yes, you may all clear one condition.
I'm no longer obsessed with death. Alright, I'm sorry, what was the other thing you wanted me to do?
You may define a clue. There's only one mystery available, so define a clue for On Strange Wings.
Oh. Huh. So, I feel like in the painting that Declan Ross just did, he didn't intend to do it. But as he's painting the landscape outside, outside the town, where he's like, oh yeah, here are desert cliffs, and here's some fun little caves, and a couple cool little details. Those cool little details are traps that if we manage to replicate them in the real world, that trap the Deep Lake Devils, or at the very least, contain them.
That's a happy little accident.
Well done.
Yeah, star for that one.
I swear, every session, y'all, it's very hard to pick 1 star because there's always so many good fucking moments with y'all. It's amazing. We're not there yet, though. So, wonderful. All right. So, the plan is to go to Uncle Jimbo's Desert Museum, then.
If that's what it's called.
That is indeed what it's called.
Good. Great, even.
All right. Are you taking Declan's vehicle or are you taking Amelia's dad's car?
I mean, Amelia doesn't want to, like, leave her dad's car to get, like, ransacked or stolen, so as long as she's got her dad's car, she's gonna drive that.
All right.
Yeah, Cassie will tag along in there.
Okay.
All right. So you hop onto the highway and head out of Deep Lake once more. You see big old handmade signs for Uncle Jimbo's Desert Museum for miles as you approach. Each position next to a mile marker. One will advertise a two-headed mystery lizard, the snake den, the desert fish, cold beer, and finally the last one will say the monster that flies from the sky. And then at a lonely intersection of two state highways, you'll find a dusty barn with a big old sign that says Uncle Jimbo's Desert Museum on it. Let's paint the scene. How can you tell that the overwhelming majority of the exhibits and supposed folk crafts were created purely from industrial scrap and in Jimbo's imagination?
Well, so have you seen that taxidermy? It's a taxidermied rattlesnake with the squirrel, and you're looking at this, and the taxidermied squirrel has like a lasso in one paw and the cowboy hat in the other, and looking at this, you can just hear the yee-haw. I feel like it has some of those, but less well made. So clearly, like, taxidermy is practiced here, though not at the peak of its art.
I think that the crafts kind of around the I guess the museum to buy, like in the gift shop and whatnot, there's a decided progression in them from where they look like they were originally done with a certain amount of finesse and kind of attention to detail and sort of passion for it, but then over time they just get progressively more not badly made, but just unsettling and weird. And in the later years, all the stuff that was being made was, you could charitably call them like keepsakes, but they are not discernible as anything intelligible.
I think that there is like a glass display case. It's like as tall as a person, but all that's in it is a pile of leaves scattered with, like, you know how there'll be like enamel human teeth molds? It has a bunch of those just thrown into the leaves and a plaque, like shiny bronze plaque that says the Mulch Man.
Okay. So, Amelia, you pull up and park. It is, we'll say it's dusk-ish. It's not literally night currently. You get out of your vehicle, approach the barn, and kindly face older gentleman wearing a turquoise shirt that says Uncle Jimbo's Desert Museum. It has a price tag dangling off the sleeve still. As he approaches you and Cassie, he doesn't seem to notice Declan for obvious reasons. He's like, well, howdy, folks. Welcome. Welcome to Uncle Jimbo's Desert Museum.
Yeah, it's a lot here, huh?
I mean, if it's overwhelming, little lady, I can give you a guided tour.
I would love that.
Oh boy, would you?
Sure, follow me. He waves you in very excitedly, and starts showing you around the various exhibits, which you've already described. But there's also, if you've ever been to any sort of off highway attraction, like there's kind of the standard fake bullshit that you are expected to see, like the one that always pops into my brain is the monkey body on the fish thing. That's a classic.
I posted some
but-
in the Discord, Aaron.
Oh, did you? Oh no. Oh, there's so many. There's so many.
Oh boy.
These are deeply cursed. The squirrel riding the snake is my favorite thing I've ever seen in the world. That is so wonderful.
I want one. I want one.
Pretty awesome.
Oh.
I kind of also want the
Yes, there is a jackalope as well. Thank you, Drea. Yeah, there is fully a jackalope in this museum.
I would like to, because I don't have to engage this guy in conversation or follow him
You do
around.
not.
As I walk in, because I mean, still muscle memory. Declan is gonna fish a $20 bill out of his pocket and like put it in the the jar for admissions. And then he's gonna wander in and he's gonna kind of like part ways with the rest of the group and kind of like look around on his own.
Okay, we'll start with you then. Go ahead and roll the meddling move with, sounds like reason. Unless you're like
Okay.
using your like sixth sense to feel weirdness, then I'll ask you to roll sensitivity. You will get
mean-
different clues based on that.
I mean, yeah, I think Declan's kind of leaning into that at this point because he's over here. He might as well stop using his eyes and start like leaning into the fact that he's always been kind of good at sensing weird shit. So yeah, let's do that.
All right, go ahead, give me meddling move with sensitivity then. Whoa, wonderful. Okay.
Aaron, I'm scared. We're gonna
What are you
roll
scared of?
We're gonna roll so bad tomorrow.
Listen, if Declan, I'm just hoping Declan gets to see TV Odyssey be revealed, and if he passes during TV Odyssey, then he'll at least have made it. Like his efforts will have been rewarded.
I want to make it to the end.
Yes. All right. So Declan, you kind of reach out with your sort of you are otherworldly yourself now, and you're drawn to this. Doesn't look like it's been placed here by Jimbo. It's kind of off to the side on the ground. It's a very large nest, and it looks like it's been woven with human hair. As you get closer, you recognize the hair. It's Kato's hair.
Does this look like something that is on this side and on the other side?
You're not sure unless you draw the other's attention to it. It's up to you if you want to draw Cassie's attention to that.
No, in fact, I can't affect the real world, can I?
We've been pretty liberal with it.
Oh, good.
I'll just say, if you try to anything really overt, I'm going to make you do the night move for it. Just a heads up.
Ideally what I would like is if there's something nearby it that can like be like gently like tipped over so that it covers that in a relatively inconspicuous way, that would be great.
Okay. I will ask for the night move then. This will be with sensitivity. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
I think I'm afraid that messing with this on the Chromatic Desert side is going to draw the attention of the devils, Kato specifically, and bring them here on the real world side. I hate doing that because like so many times it's like my answers are something bad happens to someone else, but for Declan that is the worst thing that could happen. So
I love that though.
Yes, I will say the it's worse than that. Speaking of that, is the Deep Lake Devils are capable of perceiving you. That's the it's worse than that.
okay. Rachel, you have that thing from Zagreus about like determining if something is like gonna kill someone, right?
Yes, I've seen a vision of your possible death.
Is that something you have to use in this session, or can you use it?
And it's a thing she has for as long as Amelia is
Yeah.
around.
Okay,
It just
okay,
says in a future scene if there's no other.
okay. I
restriction.
thought it was one you had to do this time around. Okay. Would you like to use that here, or some free XP?
So, the thing is, if you miss,
I can guarantee I will not miss.
Okay, then go for it.
Okay. So knowing that,
So-
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make use of my move called What Nintendo Don't to get a 12 plus on this as I walk over and just kind of very casually like do a faux lean against something that pushes it over onto the hair so that it obscures it from anyone seeing it unless they like dig for it.
I will say I think the extra benefit here will be I'm going to give you an additional clue.
Wait,
Will be
so-
the added benefit.
Are you hiding her hair or trying to draw attention to it?
I am hiding the hair because I don't want Cassandra to find that here. I feel like that would be particularly traumatic and cruel.
So, I will give you. You will reveal. You will still have the clue because you have seen it. But I will give you the additional clue as the 12 plus benefit here. However, you tell me what this looks like in the real world, Declan. You've said what you've done. Now, does it just fall over and crash and cover this thing?
No, I don't think it's anything quite so dramatic as that. I think like as they're like turn around and the guy is showing them one of whatever, what one exhibit or whatever, as the thing kind of like leans over, we'll say it's one of the wings, like it's a paper mache kind of like Deep Lake Devil, and as it leans over, one of the wings kind of like comes partially loose and swings down, and so like the kind of membranous part of the wing sort of covers the hair in such a way that it looks like the wing is meant to be there and isn't obscuring something. So there isn't
Okay.
any major like dramatic thing on the other side unless you happen to be looking at it, which they're not.
Okay. So yes, this falls over Declan, and behind it, the you said paper mache. The devil was hiding something that was sort of tucked back. It will be. It looks like a bunch of Death Head's hawk moths that have been pinned to cardstock. It's an entire 12 set of 12, each labeled with a different zodiac symbol. As for Amelia, so to trigger your move, you do need to tell me what Declan's death would have looked
Oh yeah,
like.
sorry.
And then you may both mark XP happily.
Oh. I think because the vibe that I'm getting from this place is that it's completely overstocked, is that Declan would have died pushing over the cabinet that would have created like this Rube Goldberg series of events that ended up with like some real sharp tools, like an awl just falling straight on his head. Just arbitrary horror movie death style.
Final destination in a tourist trap pit stop museum. Awesome. Glad I could avoid that.
It's such an ignominious death. I'm glad you could avoid it too.
Yeah.
Right, so Amelia and Declan made both mark an XP. That move is no longer available. That your prize has been used. All right, so let's cut over to Amelia and Cassie. Jimbo is giving you a very elated tour of this place. And he's like, this one I shot myself. It's very obviously shitty taxidermy job. He did not. There's no bullet hole. This thing was
I
probably
was
found
gonna
on the.
imagine there was gonna be like buckshot scrunch.
Oh, that's fine. I'm happy to have that too. Either one of you, who's chatting up Jimbo? I'll ask.
Amelia doesn't
Fine.
strike me as the type to chat with people.
Yeah, my composure
Unless it's about services bulkers.
My composure is 0, so
Presence
no,
is
so
is
my
the talkie
presence
two,
is
the
0.
talkie one.
yeah, no, my composure is 1, but
Okay.
my presence is 0.
Okay. I'm gonna have you both. I'm gonna have. I think that if Cassandra is gonna be the one taking the lead on schmoozing with Jimbo, I will give Amelia the chance to notice someone else. And you can do. So, Cassie, go ahead and do meddle with presence for me.
Sure. Presence. Whew. Hot damn.
All right, I will offer you the same thing. Yeah, it is very concerning for what's going to happen for the valley with all these wonderful rolls you've been getting. So yeah, I will once again offer you. Would you like another clue, an additional clue, or would you like lore?
Let's get 2 clues because then we can get a +3 on the question.
All right. So he's guiding you around, Cassie. How are you schmoozing, Jimbo? Are you selling this, like how interesting this fellow is? What's the kind of approach?
No, I think all it really takes is like paying any amount of attention to him.
You are
Like,
correct. He
yeah.
is vain.
Yeah, like this is a guy who made a whole museum about the history of the desert, but really it's about me and my shitty little taxidermy jobs. And I say that I killed all of these critters because I'm the greatest hunter of all. She'll just like nod along and say, yeah, uh-huh, oh, mm-hmm, wow. He will eat it up.
Okay, so here's the 2 things. He's like, do you want to see something a little special I only show to my favorite customers?
Mm-hmm.
And he brings you over to a little like shitty CCTV with a VHS tape in it and puts it in. It's he's like, I caught this footage with the camera I've set up pointing towards the caves over yonder, over yonder. This is some weird stuff, y'all. Presses play. It is night vision camera. It's at first it's just a coyote, and then there's 2 little girls that are following behind the coyote. That's your first clue. While you're sitting, you are very disinterested, Cassandra, like at first anyway, because it is just the coyote for a long time until the girls come into frame. So your eyes wander, and your eyes fall on something nearby on a table. It's a certificate from the International Star Registry. You recognize the name on it for this star that's registered to Cato Fabiano. Those are your two clues.
Hell yeah.
You are capped out on clues for on Strange Wings now. I will still point out for Amelia, while you're having this tour, you do notice there is someone else. It is a barrel-chested. He's wearing a tailored vest and pressed pants with a sport coat kind of folded over his arm. It looks like he's here killing time.
Is this the big man?
It is not. The big man has a ball of fire for a head now.
Yeah, far too much skull on this fella.
there is a proper head on this fellow.
Alright, so I think at this point we have to answer a question.
Yeah, if you'd like. If you have no intent on engaging with the fellow here, that is absolutely fine. You don't have a reason to, mechanically speaking.
I
yes.
think Amelia will just do like the hey, smile and wave, but otherwise not talk to this guy.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so our question we need to answer is, if the Deep Lake Devils are from elsewhere, which they are, how can you banish them from our world?
Well, I think that it has a lot to do with the denim and the map. Yeah. So, I think that all of these mining nodes, it doesn't like make a picture or anything when you like connect the mining nodes, but if you were to go to each one, there is I think like these spaceships, effectively, not necessarily spaceships, but like just these things that are very clearly otherworldly. They sort of resemble Death's Head moths, but they all have the like the zodiac signs carved into them, into these, like, I imagine they're like little capsule things, and you probably see some images of them in the museum itself as well. The traps drawn into the painting they're literally, you just wrap those pods in the denim. So there are a bunch of these little like blue dots in the painting. It's pods wrapped in denim. The night vision footage of the two girls following the coyote is the Deep Lake Devils are effectively trying to use anything they can to get people that, I imagine it's like a biomass type thing. They need more just biofuel basically to get back to where they're going, and that's why they're just taking people left and right and center, because they need to use them to fuel their escape ships basically. The Star Registry made out to Kato is specifically like something that was found in like the mouth of the cave, probably because it wouldn't be something from before Kato went into the Chromatic Desert, because she got written out of existence. This has to be something that is from like the Deep Lake Devils. Like they just have a bunch of Star Registry things for whatever reason. Like probably these like hold actual weight for them. Like, yes, this is my star, and it's like a real ass foundation to them for whatever reason.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
I think that the only registries, or the only certificates for the Star Registry that are found here are people who have been turned into Deep Lake Devils. For whatever reason, like that is, like when someone from Deep Lake gets taken and turned into one of these things, this is the only remnant of them that remains, or that is still around.
Yeah.
I think the nest could tie into that as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And we have to, I don't know, burn the nest.
Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go in there, coat it in denim, and burn it down.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, yeah, that sounds good to me. Who would like to roll? I had Steph roll earlier. I would like one of you to roll this one at +3.
I think Ben should roll.
What? All right, fine. I guess I'll roll.
So you have it is complexity 4. You have 7 clues.
All right. And this is to answer a question.
Yep.
Number of clues found is 7. Complexity is 4.
Ooh, all right. So this
It's
complex.
good. It's still good.
It's
Yeah.
not as bad as it could be.
Correct. It could have been a miss, and then you would have been in some deep shit.
Yeah.
So here's what I will say is the complication, and I think it's probably going to be pretty obvious. Kato is going to confront you, not aggressively. Cassie's going to realize that there is a bit of Kato left in this thing, so you're going to have to come to terms with the fact that you're banishing her forever. That will be the complexity part of this.
Yeah, that tracks.
Or the complication part of this, rather. All right, so here's what we will proceed apace. Uncle Jimbo looks out and he's like, well, it's getting late, y'all. I had a really great time, but it's about time for me to be closing up.
Oh no. See ya.
Well, so thank you so much. This was so great. I'm gonna tell all my friends about it. Is there a tip jar?
There is a tip jar. There's a 20 sitting in it. That's weird. Where'd that 20 come from?
That's seed money. I've worked in tipping. That's what you do. When I worked in coffee, you empty the tip jar, but then you take $1 or 2 out.
That is 100% accurate. It's real life.
Yeah, no, I'll put whatever spare change she has on her goes in the tip jar.
He tips his non-existent hat to you.
Spent all my
Alright.
cash on gas earlier. Sorry, economy.
That's all right, little lady. The other gentleman that was in this place with you does not tip either and kind of wanders off towards the direction of the gas station that you were at earlier, Cassandra.
Amelia.
Okay.
Amelia will look at Cassie like, what do we do now?
Well, I mean, I think I've got an idea about what's going on here. And then, we skip through everything and the theorizing.
I do have a quick question. What was Kato's zodiac sign?
Oh, what would it be? I'm not like. I'm
She
not
does.
one of
I'll
those
be real. She
Zodiac
strikes me
gays.
as a. Okay, I am a zodiac gay. She strikes me as a Scorpio.
All right, then yeah.
There it is.
Okay. So, anyways, as you were.
Yeah, but no, she sort of explains the theory that we just crafted, and says, well, pulling out like a, probably turning on the radio in the car so that Declan can chime in. So, what do y'all think? Are we gonna go and get this taken care of?
Oh, can I have grabbed the nest of Kato's hair from the Chromatic Desert side? Okay,
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I was muted.
that's okay.
I'm sort of wandering through the desert here. But yeah, if you need help, I'll help you.
Yeah. I don't think I can do this alone.
Yeah, and I've got like some connection to Declan.
Oh.
He was able to help me with the video games, so or I guess the arcade game, but he might still be able to help if we can coordinate with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm around.
All right. Cool. All right. Yeah, I mean, I guess we go in the cave and should buy get a I don't know. What's kind of a store sells denim in bulk?
Walmart.
Boot
Do they?
stores?
I mean, not in bulk, but they sell it cheap enough that it might as well be.
Fair enough. Let's go get some fucking jean jackets, I guess.
So yes, we
Oh
will.
god,
I am
what
not.
does Walmart look like on the chromatic desert side of things? Ugh.
You tell me,
Exactly
bud.
the same.
No.
Actually, yeah, exactly the same.
Exactly
I'll-
the same. Yeah, that
exactly
actually,
the
that actually does
same,
fly.
yes.
It does. I don't know. It's oddly enough, it's nicer.
It's way more clean in here.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, a clean Walmart is scary, actually. Yeah.
We
It's
will
so
hand
empty.
wave. We will hand wave the. I'm not doing a shopping scene, so we are. You get whatever amount of denim, you like.
More than we would like. Any
Alright.
amount is
Yeah.
more than we would like.
I
True.
know it's 2004 and I know they were kind of playing fast and loose with the timeline. Can I have some jeggings?
Yeah, sure. Enjoy your jeggings.
Oh,
Good.
and
Good,
the
good.
little denim scrunchie.
Fuck my life. I hate that. As I don't know if this is
Drunchy.
punishment as not. I'm gonna make you add a denim scrunchie to your corner of the house. You're taking that. That's yours now.
Okay.
You're never getting rid of it.
But yeah, we'll get some denim and go to the fucking caves and start setting shit up.
So you do need to locate their nest, presumably, to do this thing.
Well, that's what the map was. All of the
Oh,
the
yes.
mine nodes.
Indeed. Yes, okay. So you are going to go, you're going to do a little bit of spelunking, as it were. Who is I kind of assume it's going to be Cassie who's taking the lead.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have the highest vitality out of all of us. So
That tracks. Okay, so I'm going to ask you
big
the night
beefy
move.
goth girl. Oof.
I'm not going to make everyone do the night move. It feels tedious to spelunk. I will just say that Cassie makes the night move, and depending on her success is how fucked the rest of you are, because you have to follow the only physical character. So, Cassie, what are you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
Well, rocks fall.
How do I make it worse than that? Rocks will fall. That is going to be a problem for both Amelia and Declan. But don't worry, Cassie. In worse than that is Kata will catch you.
Good. Good. All right.
Let me check your. You have some conditions, I think, still. Let me see.
I do, in fact. I still have
You are
Hunted by the
hunted
Deep
by-
Red Devils.
Oh, so I believe this will in fact be with disadvantage, unless you'd like to use an item from your corner of the house.
I will, in fact. I think she will remember her like time going through the DSM and just trying to be studying to be a therapist, and she's going to use a bunch of grounding techniques to keep herself in check, and her effectively using those to keep her vitality up and to keep the blood flowing at a reasonable level.
Alright, so roll night move with vitality normally.
Excellent.
Y'all.
Shoot! boy.
Tell me how Cassie crushes this.
Yeah, I think that we bought like a bunch of like plywood sheets as well. And everyone's like, well, why did we do that? Eventually, when we get inside, and Cassie's been carrying around like 3 sheets of plywood with her, complaining about it the whole time, while everyone's like, well, you fucking bought them. Eventually, they get to this really slick place where there's stalactites, there's dripping cave water on the ground, and it's this very treacherous path that has like small stalagmites and a small drop onto them. And she just grabs one of the sheets of plywood, puts it over the gap, and says, "Oh, see, fuckers! Oh man, help me carry the wood at least." And starts just marching onward, and basically any obstacle that they come across, she's able to put over some plywood planks to cover them up.
Right. I will say that impressive roll also takes you to where you're going. And we're going to do paint the scene one last time. You come into an open place. Multiple tunnels lead here, apparently. You reach the bottom. It is filled to the brim with bones. Some bleached, some broken. Others alarmingly fresh with viscera still attached. There's many skeletons intertwined, and they all sort of form this visceral, bony nest that you've been looking for.
Bone zone.
The Bone Zone. So, I'm going to give all of you a condition, because this is the first time all of you are stepping into the Bone Pit. All of you gain the condition Left for Dead. All right, let's paint the scene, shall we? Sorry, before I say that, I think does anyone else have the Phallum as well marked? Oh, you all do. You all literally have it marked. Great. Everyone gets to answer this question then. Generations of the dead cry out for recognition, either as prey or once willing sacrifices. What message are you tasked with bearing back to the land of the living?
I feel with Amelia, her family has probably been in this area for a while. And so she gets a lot of generational messages from like deceased great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents, and it's very conflicting and very confusing. But it's like, oh yeah, tell your dad to invest in this. No, that's wrong. He should retrain to be a dentist. No, you should retrain to be a dentist. So it's a kind of confusing and horrifying experience for Amelia, but she tries to pay attention to as many messages as she can.
There is a voice that sounds like it comes from someone who's probably like maybe 20 at the most, but late teens most likely, a young man, and it's very frantic and very panicked, and it ultimately coalesces into, "Please delete my browsing history."
Beautiful.
I think that there is like someone in there who was maybe like an archaeologist or something. They say, tell everyone the Mayan calendar is wrong.
It's before 2012, so yeah.
God damn it, Steph.
That's a good one.
Oh, that was very good. A little levity before it's sad times. So, tell me how you're prepping to banish the devils.
Amelia's
Well, I think
probably
it's-
doing a couple like Catholic rituals, which I'm not super familiar with because I was not raised Catholic, but she's probably doing her own thing in like a little corner next to a pool.
Cassandra's trying to find some of those like pods and just drape them over with all the denim. Complaining about having to touch so much denim.
Ooh, that's rough.
Declan
At
is
least it's not rough on crime.
Declan is going to be. Oh, I would have reminded Amelia about the can of mace. Make sure you bring that just in case. That rhymed. I'm gonna say that even though Declan doesn't smoke, he probably has a lighter. So I'm getting ready to burn the nest of Kato's hair on the Chromatic Desert side. But I'm going to be walking around with the Dr. Cerulean's scalpel, and just kind of sort of talking shit to Kato.
Okay. Okay. I think I do want to move for that. That is particularly risky.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say it's gonna be the night move with because you're using the scalpel and you are. It's gonna be the night move with sensitivity.
Okay.
I don't. Do you have conditions currently?
No.
You have some.
No.
Neither of them apply though. Actually, so Left 4
Okay.
Dead, fun fact, gives you advantage for avoiding the Deep Lake Devils. It doesn't make it
Oh.
worse for you.
Okay.
And Marked by the Occluded King does not apply in this moment, so you're fine. You may
Okay.
roll sensitivity normally, or unless you'd like to use one of your items in your corner of the house.
Well, if I'm trying to avoid the Deep Lake Devils, can I not use Left 4 Dead for that? It's fine
Are
if
you
the answer is
trying
no.
to
I'm just
avoid
trying...
them or
I don't think
attract
you're
them?
trying
Yeah,
to avoid
okay,
them.
all right, that's-
You
I
are
just-
talking shit to a specific one of them as you get ready to banish them.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't think
true.
you're avoiding.
That's true. That's true. I'm going to mark the Chromatic Desert happy ending painting for Deep Lake as my corner of the house to give myself advantage on the roll. So night move, advantage.
Sensitivity.
Oh yes.
Okay, I will say there will be a whoever makes the next night move that it will be coming to finish this mystery will do so at advantage. That will be your bonus. So here's what happens. I know typically you narrate this, but because of
Please.
the complication from an answer question, I'm going to have this happen. You feel what you're doing working, Declan, and it's working extremely well. To the point where it has fully attracted the attention of Kato, who lands in the center of the circle. Cassie, Amelia, you see this. Amelia, you have no context for what the fuck this is. But here it is now. Declan, Kato regards you. It's still her eyes in this thing's body. You recognize them. It sees you. She sees you. She sees what you're doing, and you see a single tear slide down her cheek, and then she turns away from you to face Cassandra. Cassie, you know this is Kato. She's got a pleading look. She doesn't want to go.
I think Cassie just walks up to her, and I imagine that Kato's probably like 7-8 feet tall by this point.
Massive, yes.
Yeah. So she's just looking up, and she reaches out and grabs with her far smaller hands one of those big, like bony. I imagine they're like bony, leathery, clawed, like 3-digit things. She grabs that in her hand, and she says, This isn't how I wanted any of this to be. You have made me happy in times that other people weren't able to. You helped me when no one else would believe me. You broke my heart and then pieced it back together. But all in all, this wouldn't... None of this would have happened if you didn't come back to Deep Lake, Kato.
She hangs her head almost as an admission of guilt. And you don't see the tears running down this thing's face, but you hear them hit the ground and they sizzle as they do.
You know I don't blame you for that. Sometimes emotions take control of us, and I know that Deep Lake can have a pretty fierce grip on people, but I think now it's time for you to go. And I don't think I can come with you this time. I think... well, nothing else, Declan needs someone to be able to act on the physical form. I know you didn't get along super well, but let's be real, it's mostly because he called you out on all your shit. And she gives this like light smile and tries to like reach up and touch this thing's shoulder. Just ends up touching like the bicep of it. She's like, I won't forget you. I still have the tape. I listen to it often.
All right, so I'm going to call for one last move just because of the risk of doing this. It's going to be Night Move with Composure, I think, because it's one thing to say words. It's another to have the strength of will to actually go through with it, to like know that this is the last time you'll see Kato ever. So we're going to call it Night Move with Composure. Declan did get you advantage. However, you are hunted by the Deep Lake Devils, and there is more than just Kato about. So I'm going to call it a normal roll.
For sure.
Can Amelia crash in?
If you'd like.
I'm going to be holding off the other Deep Lake Devils with the mace that Declan reminds me I have.
Okay, if Declan marks his mace, I will allow you to roll with advantage,
Okay.
Cassandra.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Well, Cassandra's already rolling with advantage because of my...
Well, so I will let her have advantage because I'm giving her disadvantage.
Oh, I see. Okay, perfect.
So instead of rolling normally, I will not impose disadvantage, and she will roll with advantage.
I have marked the can of mace off of my sheet.
All right. Go ahead and roll with advantage then.
Excellent. This is the night move, right?
Night move. So what are you afraid is going to happen if you fail? Of course.
That Cassie's gonna go with her.
I honestly don't have something worse than that. That's what it is. Go ahead and roll. So the ritual is a success, but Kato can't let you go, and she grabs you at the last moment as she vanishes into the ether, and Cassie goes with her, leaving Amelia and Declan behind, unless you like to turn a key. Steph, don't do it.
Fine, I'll turn the Wandering Monolith.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to do something narratively then. because you're doing the Wandering Monolith in particular, you see Kato reaching for you, Cassandra, and you know that she's going to take you with her, and you almost let yourself go in the moment, and then a large not skeletal, but thin hand grips your shoulder, and you feel the warm burning light of the big man's head behind you as he pulls you back and be like, "It's not your time, child. You need to stay here and see this through."
Who the fuck are you?
You can't, there's no face anymore, but you sense he's smiling at you as if like a grandparent to a child asking absurd questions. And Kato's hand reaches for you briefly, and then she's ripped off into the ether from wherever these devils came from, along with the rest of her kin. And that's what we'll call tonight's session.
Can we say that like Cassie reaches out too, and in an echo of that first scene that they had, Kato's claw like caresses the hand?
Yep. 100%, yes. Actually, I'll do you one better, Steph. The claw comes free. Add Kato's claw to your corner of the house.
Ooh.
And that's where we'll wrap tonight's session. Thank you so much to my wonderful players and our wonderful audience. Next week's the finale, y'all. It might be a two-parter. I have a feeling it's probably going to be a one-parter. And it's probably going to be brutal, based on how good the rolls were tonight until the end anyway. Yeah, it might be a shit show next week, but we'll see. Declan made it through to the end. You did it. I got my wish. I'm very happy about this. One last time. Well, not one last time. We're redoing this at least one more time. Second to last time. My wonderful players, tell everyone who you are, where they can find you, what cool shit you're up to.
Ben Ravensdale, been playing Declan. I don't have anything to pitch tonight. Thanks very much for being here.
Hello, I'm Stolen Fires, which you knew because you're here. I need to find another joke. That one's getting old. Anyway, it was a delight to play with all of you tonight. Come back tomorrow for Dune, which is going to be terrible because we rolled so well tonight. We're going to run terrible tomorrow, which means, I don't know, the Emperor and the Harkonnens win. That's bad. But yeah, so that airs beginning at 6 o'clock Pacific time, which is General Mean Time -8. We also have Monday Fringeworthy, and we're on kind of a mild holiday hiatus because I've just solicited for other GMs to pitch me their shows, and now I get to do calendar math. Yay, calendar math, so much fun. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you to everybody. I am going to post the link to our Discord in case you want to hang out with cool people doing cool stuff. I just stole that from the podcast. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Also, check out the podcast, Cool People Who Did Cool Things. Anyway. Discord, Dune, Fringeworthy on Mondays. A cool new schedule coming out on January. Stay tuned.
And I'm Steph. You can find me under Steph Infection pretty much anywhere. Recently got a Blue Sky account, so I'm there now. Probably about as active there as I am on my Dice Camp account, honestly. But you know, I have it. Yeah, I'm currently writing and playtesting Site 42, which is an SCP and control-inspired Carved from Brittlewood game, like public access. And yeah, that playtest is actually wrapping up. I think the next session is probably going to be the last one as well this coming Monday. So I know it's so sad. You can find that on my YouTube. Again, if you just search Steph Infection, you might be able to find it, but honestly, the easiest way to find that is by searching Site 42 playtest or Site 42 TTRPG on YouTube. Should be one of the first things that come up. Yeah, otherwise, that's pretty much it for me, except for Stars and Wishes. Are we doing Stars and Wishes now?
I forgot to do them, so we're just doing them in reverse order after I do my promo bullshit, and then we'll just
Gotcha.
we'll go back through. So yes, hello, I am Aaron, pronoun she, they, they. I am Great Cthulhu pretty much everywhere on the internet, except for Twitter. I have abandoned ship, and you all should as well. He brought Alex Jones back. Like, it's only downhill from here. Yeah. Anyways, so things you can continue doing. Tomorrow, as Rachel said, I'll be playing Dune. I'm the judge of the change. I'm the titular character now, and that is bad. You do not want to be a titular character in Dune. I am now. That's my life. Great. Sunday I do a recording for a show called Left 4 Dead, which is an all disabled cast inspired by Last of Us. Because I have not seen the show Last of Us, but I've heard they did the sacrificial disabled person thing. Awful thing. Not a thing you should do in your games or in your stories. Disabled people can just live and thrive. It's a thing we can do. We do it all the fucking time. Anyways, let's see. Mondays, as Steph mentioned, I am in her playtest. So you can see me one last time. I have one last Dr. Cerulean lore dump before we call it. So I'm gonna do that and be a weirdo with a mouth first stomach and a tail. I love playing it. It's a lot of fun. And then Thursday I will be here, obviously, for the finale. And then after the finale, by the way, we will be doing a Q&A, just kind of hang out, vibe, and talk about and just bullshit for, however long, the week after that. And yeah, and then there'll be announcements about what's next on the Thursday time slot in the new year. There's a couple options. I'm excited for all of them, pretty much. Yeah, so I'm gonna we're gonna start the mission in reverse order then. I'm gonna do mine. These are gonna star for I've had so many stars for everyone. Star for Rachel at the end, doing like the hey, can I throw in throw some help here and help Cassandra get closure finally. I thought that was a really brilliant setup for a fellow player. I always love to see those. I'm a fan of doing them myself, and I thought that was a great one. For Steph, there was a lot of good ones tonight. I think just that whole scene at the end was a big star, with Kato for the last time. I thought that was great. Yeah, a final real goodbye to her was needed, and I thought it was wonderful. For Ben, I got it's fucking Declan Ross. That was so fucking choice. It's one of my not even my favorite of this episode. I think of the whole run might be my favorite Declan moment. It was so fucking what a brilliant idea and brilliantly executed. Yeah, so wonderful. Wishes, I have none. Declan got to see the end. And my two new latchkeys are going to find out what's been waiting for everyone this whole time. I'm looking forward to it. So reverse order, Steph, please.
Hey. Yeah, I also really loved the Declan as Bob Ross moment. In the other game of public access that I play in, my character has I Am Error, and I dressed up as Bob Ross in a TV, so that makes it 2 times now. And once in each of the public access games that I played, where the I Am Error character dresses up as Bob Ross for a nostalgic move. I love that that's a theme. I love that that is something that is just apparently a universal constant in this game, and I can't wait to hear about other people being Chromatic Ross. But yeah, I love that. I also really liked the moment where he was trying to hide the hair from Cassie. I thought that really it really showcases how far their relationship has come in such a fairly short time, especially given that, let's be real, Kato was kind of the antagonist of the whole game here. Even as a player character. So it was great to see that, when not that she was necessarily the bad guy, but definitely not, she was an obstacle for the characters, even for herself. So seeing that obstacle removed and how the relationships then flourish because of that is very interesting to me. and I like seeing how that change came into play.
Can I interject with two things?
Yeah.
One, Kato was the embodiment of don't be part of the problem, be the entire problem. Two, with Declan and Cassie, the real thing there is Declan didn't want her involved in the first place, but once she was, she became part of the group and part of the group of people he needed to take responsibility for. So that's definitely kind of the direction that took.
Yeah, I loved seeing it, and I loved seeing all of the steps that took and how that ended up being in these final moments. And I'm very excited to see how that plays out with TV Odyssey and next week. For Rachel, I love Amelia getting so stoked about Zagreus. Just being so into it that she's moving the cabinet and jumping up and down and shouting in this abandoned arcade with a dead body smell in it. Great times. For Aaron, I love the resolution with Kato in the bone pit. If there was anywhere that Kato would gain closure, it would be the bone pit. As far as wishes go, I'm just really excited to see the Odyssey mystery next week and figure out who's been leaving all the things for Truth Is Out there.
Yeah. So, my stars. I really like the interaction I had with Ben. Ben, you and I always have really good roleplay chemistry. I also really liked how Kato's story ended. It felt kind of appropriate for how things have been going. As far as wishes, I just want to see how this ends. I want to read the final chapter, however it folds out.
That is what it is, isn't it? It is reading the final chapter. Hey, Ben, take us home, and I'm gonna have a quick improv stinger scene.
For stars, I mean, I think I did like the send off for Kato, the final formal official send off for Kato. A little bit delayed in coming, but I think that was good. I appreciated the decision that Denim was the Bane for the Deep Lake Devils. That was good. That was a good riff on a random comment, so that was well done, Steph. Kind of gonna parrot Rachel. I really always like RP moments with Rachel. We've been gaming together for a while now, so it usually goes pretty well. And Aaron, I really enjoy the very amused / aggrieved / resigned way that you kind of